What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Money Moves with K. I am K, and today we're going to be talking about a secret Google strategy to find distressed properties anywhere for free. Yes, this is a banger, guys. Make sure you stick around to the very end of the video. You do not want to miss anything that I'm about to say, okay? Speaking of free, though, make sure you check out my free newsletter for deals under $10,000, okay? You can sign up. I'll place a link in the description, and I'll also pin it in the comments. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to, first of all, go to Google. Okay. Once you go to Google, you're going to Google Earth. If you know the direct link to Google Earth, that's fine as well. But I kind of wanted to show you step by step what to do in case you are not familiar with Google Earth. Okay. So what Google Earth would do for us is allow us to see everything bird's eye view. So here it is. You click it, and I'll keep talking, but you click this and it'll pull you up to Google Earth. All right. So what Google will do is place you bird's eye view so that you can see everything. Now I'm about to show you some things that you can do behind the scenes in order to make your experience on Google Earth a little bit better, meaning profitable for you as the investor to find a lot of deals, okay? Or a lot of, when I say deals, a lot of distressed properties. So here we go. So what I did here is I chose Gary, Indiana. So you can put whatever city and state that you're interested in here. I put Gary, Indiana, just as an example and for us to go by. So down here, you can see this is a little guy right here, little person, and these different tools. So what I like to do is I like to, first of all, this little person will, once you click it, the roads will highlight and you can place that little person on the road and it'll show you street view what everything looks like. I'm not ready for that right now, so I'll take that off for a second. This is what I wanted to show you. Make sure that you are on 3D, okay? So this is 3D, and I have my coordinates and my grid on. I'll show you in a second also how to do that and what that does for you. It just keeps everything organized because essentially what you're going to do, let me break this down. Essentially what you're going to be doing is, again, looking at cities and going bird's eye view, looking at roads, okay? And on these roads will be homes, these neighborhoods, and you're going to be looking to see, you're going to be looking for a damaged roof. If the roof has a tarp, like a blue tarp, typically people with those blue tarps on their home, on the roof of the home, it's a sign for an investor, for a former wholesaler that, which I did wholesale for a while as well. It's a sign that the homeowner is in distress, meaning that they may not have enough money to cover those expenses. And a roof is a costly expense. So I mean, most people don't have that money to cover, so it's not anything against them. It just tells me it's a sign for an investor like myself that something's going on and I can help solve that homeowner's problem, okay? So again, you're looking at bird's eye view. Also, you're looking at the condition of the yard, the pride of ownership in the community, and you can clearly see, I'm about to show you, just hold tight. You can clearly see what is going on with the property bird's eye view a lot better. But let me show you how to see this even better by setting your parameters of what you want to do. So here we go. So down here, you want to make sure it's in 3D, okay? This will help you to see everything a lot smoother and clearer. Also, I put the tilt. I'll explain why the tilt is important. I put the tilt as a personal preference on 45 degrees. It allows me to see not just flat and above, but tilting it allows me to see if there's a slope in the roof that doesn't need to be there, or is there water damage? Is there cars in the yard? I've seen all kinds of stuff in yards just by doing this. And yeah, it helps. Now, if you wanted to place the grid on your Google Earth, you can just says, I have grids on now, but you can, let me push hide grid so you can see it. It says show grid lines and it'll put the grid lines for you. Just keeps everything organized and you can go coordinate by coordinate in each and every neighborhood so you're not redundant, basically meaning that you don't go in a neighborhood you've already been in. All right, cool. All right, so those are the things that I do. There could be more features that you can put on here to make it more organized for yourself, but I'm just giving you the basic so we can get started. So the plus and minus down here allows you to zoom in or to zoom out. I want to zoom here because I want to show you something. Look at this neighborhood right here. So we're going to focus on this area right here. Now, mind you, I have already pinned some things just because I like to be organized when I do this video for you of what we're going to be looking at. So check this. It says vacant because I put that there, right? And you see this home, right? So let me zoom in just a little bit, or just come here. Let me tilt out just for a second. I want to show you something. So these are some homes. First of all, you don't see a car in a driveway. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's vacant or distressed. It just means that nobody could be home. But compare this right here. Now, this is the driveway. This is a concrete driveway. Look at this driveway. That's pride of ownership. Look at the grass here. Pride of ownership. Front and backyard are cut. The roof looks in pretty good shape. You look at this roof. You look at the shape of the concrete. Now, these two homes are side by side. I would definitely check out the home beside it, but I'm just showing you this one because I do know from the pictures, street view, that it is vacant and distressed. I don't know if it's vacant, but I definitely know it's distressed. I'll say that. So what I'm going to do is click this little guy right here, and then I want to go street view, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. So this is the property that I just saw. As you can see, this is the driveway that is in need of repair for sure. And you see the light is down, like the, it's like a front light or something like that, a yard light. Distress. Guys, I have a whole list of distressed properties. I randomly picked Gary, Indiana, and I spent about 20 to 30 minutes just going in the neighborhoods, and I found at least, I think 8 to 10 properties, right? And I just stopped just because I was tired of finding them. I was like, this is enough. This serves as enough examples to show my audience how in the world to do this. Okay. So that's cool. Let's look at the property beside it. Okay. The reason why I didn't focus on this one, just because it appears that someone lives here, I would still check on this property. Just because somebody lives there doesn't mean that they would not move for $5,000 or whatever the case may be. Now, a lot of people who are new investors say, okay, Kay, I found this property right here. Boom. I got the property. I have the property address as well, which is cool about Google Earth. It identifies the address. All right. Now what, Kay? Well, if you've watched any of my past videos, I do discuss what to do next, but your main goal now is to find the owner and to get in contact with the owner and offer an amount that you feel is fair for this particular home. Yes, you do not know what is inside the property. There could be a ton of damage inside. You do not know that, but just looking off of this, and you need to run your comps in the area, meaning what is this property actually worth? And you need to implement your repair costs and make sure that you come out on top in the end. However, the overall premise of this is to now contact the owner, work up a deal, and now you've found a property, a distressed property, virtually. I'm not in Gary, Indiana. I found it virtually. I contacted the owner and get a deal worked up that way, okay? Whether you want to rent it out, flip it, whatever the case may be, that is an option for you. But I did want to show you how in the world you get to this point. Now, let's back up for just a second. I want to show you something else. So we're still in this neighborhood. So watch this. I'm going to zoom in, click the plus sign, and I'm going to scroll down. I just highlighted this property as being a model property in the area, in this neighborhood. Green grass, beautiful, beautiful home from bird's eye view, of course. Now I want to show you something when I'm looking at a roof. I didn't highlight this with a yellow pen. Let me go back because it just went there and I did not mean to go there first. I wanted to show you something. All right. So let me go here. I'm going to tilt it just a little bit. I want you to see something. Watch this. I'm going to go in just a little bit more. Now, if you look at these 3 homes or 4 or 5 homes, this is the model home that I said it's just a great property, bird's eye view. Okay, you can see some. I'm a grass snob, guys. I'm a homeowner, so I actually love to grow grass and to manicure the lawn. My husband does the cutting, or we actually purchase we get somebody else to cut the grass. However, I love growing a nice lawn. And you see this property right here, but look at the roof of this home right here. All of these, the roofs look okay. I'm not a roofer, but this roof, zoom in more. There's some discoloration here. You see it's kind of like brown in the back, and then it's kind of like black right here. So let's look at it street view. And boom, you can tell that this property is distressed, but I can also tell that somebody may live here, which is the same sentiment. You can reach out, strike a deal. They may move, but I can tell that the roof is in not the best of condition, right? Which would mean that they don't have the money to repair. There could be an older couple or older person who lives here or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But you can kind of tell that they need help. And that's where you come in as a problem solver. I also see this tree right here, and that is not good. You see the sidewalk is uprooted, and it's probably from one of these trees, more than likely this one, which can cause issues with the actual home if it continues to go further. That's a side note. That's another thing. But I wanted to show you that. Let me zoom back out, and I want to take you here. Now, I've identified. Let me zoom in for a second. I want to tilt it again. Let me go over here. And once again, I've already identified these with yellow pens. I placed the yellow pen there. They did not already come there. Like I said, I took 20, 30 minutes, just found some properties to give you guys some examples. But check this roof out. Now in Gary, Indiana, I'm noticing that there are a lot of roofs. So like I'm a dog. There are a lot of there are a lot of roofs that have water damage, right? Or not water damage, they're flat. Okay. And this one has looks like a water stain, So let's look at this street view. Let me click this. And you can see the flat roof. I keep saying roof and it sounds weird now, but clearly you can see somebody lives there. My point with showing you this is that you can still help them. You can reach out. You can clearly see that they need, some help somehow. So keep that in mind. Let me go back to where I was. You can see the water damage here. You don't need to be a professional in order to see that that looks like water damage, okay? Distress. Let's go on. Let's go to the third one that I have identified. Boom. All right. So let me discuss why when I was just browsing through the neighborhood, why in the world did I identify this one as a vacant property? And I'm gonna go, it's like 2 or 3 right here. Yep. First of all, it just looked to me from bird's eye view when I'm just looking at, everything very quickly, it looked distressed because it just looked weird in that, first of all, let me back up. Let me pause because I'm getting excited. This is an empty lot, okay? And that will be something I would check on too. Don't sleep on land. And this area, if I scroll here, it just appeared that it was overgrown to me. So I just checked it out. And once I went bird's eye view, because the roof didn't necessarily tell me anything from here, but I did not see any activity, no cars, no sign of life here. So I clicked here and boom, this was the property. Okay. If I scroll bird's eye view once again, like I said, I zoomed in and I just saw right beside that home that I just looked at, I saw it continue to look like it was distressed. So, and guys, don't be afraid to go down the street. Like just, peruse the street and boom, there's an actual sign here. Not sure what it says. These are 3 abandoned properties. 1, 2. This one's really bad. You can tell, squatters could have potentially been here. It's just a total lack of ownership. You definitely would try to contact these folks. It's trash everywhere. Their couches outside. You might get it depends on who owns these properties, but you may be able to get all of them. 1, 2, scroll down. You buying the whole block. 3, and then this is the one that I showed you earlier, which is on a corner right here. All right, so that was what I saw bird's eye view. Okay, so there were like 3 or 4 properties there. Let me go back. I wanted to show you some more. Let's show you somewhere else that's not in this neighborhood. Boom. All right. So what stood out to me here was, I think I'd look at the sidewalks. I look at the driveway as well. And it just looked overgrown to me. Bird's eye view. I clicked here. And here we go. This is completely distressed. It actually looks like a fire. I see some. Let me close. Yeah, potentially a fire, right? Now you might say, "Kay, how do I find the owner?" I've done a video on this in the past. I also show this in my tax auction course, how to do due diligence, because you need to know how to look at the tax assessors. You need to know a lot, right? Make sure you check out my tax auction course. I'll link that in the description as well. Now, this one is highlighted. Which one is it? Let me see. I'm assuming I highlighted this one. Let's go. Yep, that's the one I highlighted. Let's look at bird's eye view so I can tell you guys why I chose that. Let's tilt this just a second. And 45 degrees. And here we go. So let's zoom in. These driveways are a telltale sign to me. That's something that could be replaced and should be replaced. And yeah, I think bird's eye view, I think what I was thinking, let's flatten it out just a little bit. I saw it looks like debris and trash, or it's actually abandoned cars in the back. Abandonment of cars as well. That's another thing that it just stands out to me as like, it needs some help. And like I said, once I looked street view, I was correct with my assessment. It's boarded up. There's an abandoned van back here. And yeah, let's do one more. Let's do this commercial building. Because I saw a commercial building. I didn't know it was a commercial building, but I did look at the roof. So I'm continuously paying attention to the roof because we are bird's eye view. Let's tilt it 45 degrees and check out what's going on. And let's get a little closer. Okay. Let's tilt it back so it can be flat for me for a second. And okay, this part right here. So this stood out to me. You see that this looks like the edge of the roof. However, this piece is just, it seems like it should be back here. That little thing just signified, let me check into it, right? Let me go street view and check it out. And sure enough, once I did that, this is an abandoned commercial building as well. Oh, it's completely hanging down. I didn't even see that. Wow. Okay. That's a commercial building. I don't know what the den was or what it was used for in Gary, Indiana. However, if you're looking for a commercial space, here it is as well. Guys, this works anywhere. I can literally go anywhere and do the same exact thing. You need to know what you're looking for, which I kind of just outlined what you'll be looking for. And you just give yourself 30 minutes. 30 minutes today, pick an area and do the same thing I just showed you to do. And I can't guarantee anything, but I'm certain at some point you'll find some distressed properties. And yes, I did want to bring you this video. Make sure you share this video. If it's very informational to you, it could be informational to somebody else. And like the video, comment. Matter of fact, make sure you comment. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. And comment Google. It allows me to know you made it this far in the video. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, guys, you stay blessed. Peace.